Hi guys, welcome back. We're here with an Astro talk. Thank you guys for tuning in here to you. We are here with some transits, some pretty weird, interesting transits. I was just on members actually, and we were talking about these transits, and I wanted to jump on. It's been some time since we've done an Astro talk. And so I wanted to jump on and talk a bit about what is coming up. I want to also kind of like title this sort of like a pseudo lightworker warning, because we do have some interesting times coming up. But what I wanted to mention here as well, I was in the shower. I had another epiphany. But I was meditating and I was seeing that it's interesting because, you can watch the readings. I wanted to tell you guys that you could watch the readings based on the archetype planetarily. So let's say it like this. You can watch the Aquarius reading, sure, for your Aquarius cousin, but if you're like, I want to make sure, everything's all right with Aquarius, however it is. But Aquarius as an archetype is not just like Aquarius, my cousin Aquarius. It's also Uranus as an archetype. It's the actual planetary function energy. So that's to say that you can watch any sign, but, it might be interesting through the lens of the planet that sign rules. So let's clear the energy and ground. Let's give an example. Let's say that you're watching Aries. Okay? Aries is ruled by Mars. You can watch the Aries readings to address matters of Mars for you. Okay? Which is your first house energies, which is the natural ruling house of Aries, which is fire energy. Okay, so just a heads up, I wanted to mention that. Watching Aquarius readings can point to matters related to Uranus, which is about society. So watching Aquarius readings, which only makes sense, right? Because if we think about it, if you're watching for someone who's an Aquarius, or someone who's got a lot of Aquarius, they're usually going to be in the public limelight. So it's kind of interesting. I wanted to mention that because I was meditating on it. You can watch Cancer for matters of the moon. We'll get into that in just a minute, but I want to talk about these transits because and I want to also see how we're feeling, but we're moving through some pretty weird times. It's not something we need to fear. If you were not really doing anything like shady, okay, back in, but specifically we're going to bring matters up from years ago because Mercury is currently in retrograde in Libra, and it has not been in Libra in retrograde during these degrees since 2015. So it's a wonderful time to bring up the notion that energy is fluid. Astrology is fluid. We're not just talking about Tuesday, huh? How cool. Mars is squaring Saturn. It's about the cycles. And what does that really mean? It's bringing the energy up from Mars. We have to look at Mars. Where's Mars? Mars in Libra? Is Mars in Aries? Is Mars in Virgo? What is Mars doing? What is a conversation? So we have to understand. We have to extrapolate. Okay. And so it's kind of like if you're watching two people get into an argument, right? It's like, what are you going to do? If you really want to find a solution, if you want to help mediate in that situation, you'd go over to them and you'd say, hey guys, what's going on? Right? You'd be like, hey, all right, person A, person B, what's going on? So-called person A, so-called person B, what's going on? Let's talk about it, right? We have to understand, especially those times when we have some pretty difficult transits, we have to understand what is being brought up here to talk about, right? To review as a concept. And of course, there's a personal conversation going on there, us with ourselves. Everybody's experiencing the transits on a personal level for themselves, but there's also a conversation that's happening more macro. So is this a helpful concept? I'm going to jump into the chat. So let's say it like this. Okay. Well, coming up, you guys, this is, when I was on members, we were chatting, we were on actually hourly. I saw a few more people join. How exciting. Thank you guys for supporting me there. Very, very cool that you guys also joined members and that we're able to have that space where we really get into the nitty gritties of astrology. We get into we were pulling runes on the minutes. So you guys, thank you for tuning in there. Thank you for your support. Of course, it does help the channel continue. I do this full time. So Yeah, thank you guys for your support and members as well. And in every way that you do support, right? Ultimately, is the universe. If it's something that's meant to be, it will be. So yeah, I'm grateful. I want to say it in this sense. Yeah, so thank you guys for connecting, but also via members. But to get back to it, yeah, we were talking about this one transit that came up, and I was like, oh shit, we got to talk about this because this is gonna get fucking crazy. Mercury square Pluto. This is gonna go exact on, we have it written down here, yeah? October 1st. At 10:35 a.m. Let's clear the energy around. Now, it could just be a heads up. Hey, you know, people are going to be triggered. Yeah, really, in a big way. Because Pluto, think about it. Pluto, number one, is a triggering energy. Even Pluto with ourselves can get triggering. Right? Ruler of Scorpio, 8th house. 2? All right, it's a square. It's a square with Pluto. Square is about tension. It's about, let's talk about this now. Okay? You pissed me off enough. I was trying to ignore it, and now you're really, really pissing me off to the point where we need to talk about it. That's a square to the Pluto. Obviously, it's a metaphor, maybe in a sense, but it's coming up in a certain sense. Now, this is simultaneous to Venus being, you know, kind of as well as in Scorpio, right? Still by October 1st? Yes. It's going to get strong in Scorpio. Let's give it exact sort of degree here on that. So, yeah, Venus will be at 23 degrees of Scorpio when we have the square of, and let's just say it like this, Venus is not going to be honest, not really comfortable in fucking Scorpio. Scorpio's like, what's up? We got to like see what the hell's going on here. Are you lying? Are you lying? Are you lying? Oh, you're not? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Venus is about, I'm just planting the seeds in the garden. I'm just planting 3 here and 3 here. It's like, yeah. So it's got a little bit like an awkward energy. Like Venus is about pleasure, art, harmony, beauty. Pluto is about like, what the fuck has been? Is it true? Just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like going to raid in a little bit into the party kind of vibes. And it's going to have to bring shit up as it feels. And I'm not saying anything is proper. We obviously have shadow of Pluto as well. But in a general way, yeah, Pluto, it seeks to bring and stimulate forth. Now, forward. Let's clear it and ground. I'm hearing cedarwood. Now, okay. Now, here's the thing. This is where it gets really strange. Venus, okay, handy dandy Venus is in Scorpio. It is, though, the ruler of Libra. And what are we fucking talking about here? Mercury squaring Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And Mercury right now is in Libra. It's fucking retro too. Side note. It's pre-shadow at least. Spirit guides want to make me really irritating, I guess, to get this message out. Nat, just get more annoying. till they fucking get it. This is gonna get fucking awkward. Why? Look, Scorpio and Libra are adjacent to one another. They're literally right next to one another in the wheel. They have really different agendas. They do. Right? Okay. We mentioned that. But here's the thing further. Side note, by the way, we're gonna find this retrograde officially with Mercury on, let's spin it around, wait 1 second. This is on the 20, we wrote this down as well. We went through this in numbers. It was 27th. This is gonna be one hell of a retrograde. But yeah, going back to it, this is gonna be very awkward because Libra, 27th of September, it's, yeah, to be exact, 1:10 a.m. Almost divine timing. No, everything's divine, but you know, 1 a.m. So officially, but we're still in pre-shadow. We're already, in my book, we're already pretty much retro. But anyways. But to get back to it, yeah, it's strange because Libra wants to make shit feel good, feel right, which is lovely. But, okay, Pluto is about like, hello, it's not about that only. We have to see if it's really for real. Is it true? Is it for real? Is it right? Is it honest? That's where it's going to get strange, where we've sort of been like putting makeup on like more problems, I don't know, down the line. Take it as you will. Let's clear it. And okay, well, it's a blessing in disguise, right? Down the line, when we do see every transit, there's a reason for every transit. Okay? In retrospect, especially because Mercury's in retro in Libra, it's like, well, shit was bound to come out. Was bound to be brought forth. Like, really? Yeah. It could have been, it couldn't have been any other way kind of vibe. So, but it's going to get strange. And I just see this as it could be, let's scale it down. Now, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're like really confusing me. Okay. You could get kind of argumentative. You might be bumping into people who are real triggered. And then it's like, it's like another trigger wave. And then it's like splash and trigger vibes everywhere. You know, it can kind of be like that. It's like, so it's a time where maybe you just want to kind of like observe in this transit. It's clear we talked at length about this in the hourly real-time video that we just posted on members. Let me put the link to that here for those of you who are like, where the hell is that video that you're talking about now? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Just a minute. All right. We actually have 2 videos, but we went really in depth with this here. 59 minutes, 46 seconds. And we're going to hit it up again. We're going to talk more real time with that in another video. But let me just get this link. Your Disaster in Paradise. That's a link to that video on members. If you're a member, click that link. You'll be able to see the video. If you want to sign up as a member, I think you can actually do so as well. That link, I'm not sure though, for sure. But if you want to join members, here's the link to that. Side note. Now, just because I know people are, sometimes they are not able to join. So backtracking. This transit has a sort of bubble, right, to it, as every transit does. Every transit. It technically led in with an 8-degree orb on, when was it? It was September 13th, yeah. And then it's going to have a bubbling out of, past the point of the exact on the, what is this 27th reset? First. Yeah, on the 1st of October. It's going to technically have a bubbling out, and that's going to lead until the 8th. So we've been working with this concept, but it's going to go exact on the 1st of October. So just a side note, this is something that I'm feeling really guided to talk about here. Shit's going to get weird. Shit's going to get awkward. Be aware if like, yo, this is going to like kind of get really like strange. If I have this conversation right now with this person right now and we're both triggered and it's like going to get fucking strange. Like if that's the case, heed the warnings, heed the signals. Maybe don't hang out with that person on that day. Maybe take a break and don't talk about that on that day. maybe, but always heed your personal intuition. That's the most important thing. Always heed your personal intuition. That's really what it will scale back down to. Let's clear it. It's never going to be like, oh, like astrology didn't let me learn my lessons. If you're meant to learn a lesson, you'll fucking forget about this talk. Trust me. But if you're at this talk and it's meant for you to sort of like hear this and it can help you, if it can help you in making a decision that's going to make you feel more grounded in these experiences, then wonderful. So I'm just kind of bringing this up so that we can so-called not avoid the shadow of this particular transit, which can turn into dominance, aggression, frustration, okay? Yet again, like, let's imagine it. What we're really doing here, you guys, we're bringing Libra and Scorpio into the room, and we're talking with them via a square. That's energy that has to sort of get out there. It has to come through. But it's through Mercury as well, and it's also through retro. So it's kind of like, it's like kind of like a tense talk. It's like, imagine you're going to have a tense talk. Are you going to bring like fucking like, I'm hearing pirate's booty with you? Like, how do we say this? I'm like imagining 2 dogs that are kind of aggressive. It's like, and they're aggressive. What are you going to do? Bring food into the middle of the conversation? Like to add that? That's kind of what I'm hearing. Like, if you know something's already on edge, just, yeah. But, yeah, so it's not to say, like, you know, be afraid, but just be like, try, just you with you. Ask yourself first and foremost, before you even engage with anyone, am I channeling my Pluto energy in the high vibe? Am I channeling my Libra energy in the high vibe? Have I understood the way that I want to channel this energy out? Because ultimately, again, it's also a micro conversation that you're having with you. You're Libra, you're Pluto, and you're Mercury, and you're, yeah. So that's also where you want to look at your personal birth chart and really see, you know, but I also want to mention this. This may not be just you. You could also be observing, obviously, things like on the news and like creepy weird stuff, and it's like, what the fuck is going on there? Like Mercury here in Libra and retro with Pluto and Scorpio, like things may also not be as they seem, things that have been sort of concealed for years, even like that you were not aware of coming out. So just note as well, like, yeah, you don't need to be like totally like freaked out, but just, it's maybe just kind of helpful, like, you know, it's like, if you're observing what's going on around you, you know, it's popcorn for the human experience. For those of you who are like, I'm in balance now, I'm good. Fucking wizarding my Pluto energies shaman, and I'm good. It's like, but you're just watching, you're like, but what's going on with the fucking collective, bro? Like, why I don't understand. Like, if it's at that point, that may be why. Just a side note. But I just really wouldn't get into like any heated ass conversations on this day. But you take it as you will. Interesting. Eliza Ghost says, it's so we can face it squarely. Yeah, it's like there's a reason for everything. But if you're going to be like, I know I'm like just pissing him off more, that's a shadow, right? It's about being maybe constructive. Or how will you feel that you are finding some kind of conversation that aids you in your personal discussion with your higher self by way of that moment there you're having with that so-called person? Yeah, so now, but Venus now, okay, Venus is in Scorpio. It's already destabilizing Libra. The ruler of Libra right now is in Scorpio, which again, it's not a comfortable place for Libra to be. It's like, oh, I'm hanging out with my friends, like at the party, like, now we gotta like, what? What are you saying, man? You know, it's like, so there is a big conversation coming up, but those of you who have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, you may feel on the upper end of the swing a little bit, but you'll still feel, when you'll really feel really streamlined out is when we head into your season. And when Mars enters Scorpio, shit. So listen, let's say it like this. Let's clear it around. All the Libra energy in your chart as well. That is not operating on the higher frequency plane. Okay. If it's like gossip, lying, okay, like shady stuff, like, you know, try and just be like nice on the surface, fake on the down low. That shit right there, the shadow of Libra will get blown out of the water when all of the Scorpio rides in via Mars. Okay, because Mars is the ruler of Scorpio, and that's where I'm gonna get kind of like, you know, clearer with what's going on here. Let's clear around 11 light. It's not to fear. It's not to fear, but like, just don't be shady. It's just so simple. Like, this is the audit of the universe. Let's get clearer on this. Pluto, 8th house, Scorpio, right? It's like, it's in the higher form. It's like an Inspector Gadget energy, but that is with the purpose of healing, okay, the unity consciousness. So it's not like someone necessarily coming through like, oh, it's an I'm going to blow your cover kind of vibe, like trigger fast, like for the sake of being trigger. No, it's like, this is, you know, you might find that this is the universe at a certain point. Whenever we're talking about water energy, we're talking about the realm of energy, right? The universe, karma as well. You know, this is the universe sort of stimulating conversations that maybe you were not really wanting to have. Why are you touching my hair like that? Stop. Well, why are you afraid of me touching your hair like that? Come over here. You know, it's like something like that. That is also sometimes the magnetism of Pluto energy. People who have a lot of Pluto in the chart, they're just like magnets. That's why people can get really irritated with people who have a lot of Scorpio, because they just. Are you lying? Yeah, it's like, that's a Pluto. That's a Scorpio. They just know. They're not even trying to trigger. Let's get real. Let's get down to it. Get down on it, get down on it. Yeah, they're not trying to be, Yeah, but you know, annoying. But is it really annoying? Look, it's for your own good. Like we're bringing the truth forth. Like, are you lying? You don't want to be lying. That's not good for you. I don't know what we're talking about. Pontiac Sovito. It's what you make it. It's what you want to talk about with what we're kind of so-called talking about. So shit's gonna get weird for those who are kind of being kind of like, you know, I'm hearing fair. It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. They've been thinking they're getting away with stuff, you guys. This could be happening in the collective, though, too. Of course, right? So. Interesting, Christina. Christina says, Pluto retrograde in Scorpio 29. That's in your birth chart. So do you find that you piss people off without even realizing it sometimes? Like, listen, because it's a vibrational thing. Pluto just walks into a room. It's just like a vibe. That's why it's like love-hate. People will have rising sign Scorpio. Some people will just be like, detest it. They'll be like, I don't know what it is. Like, they just get irritated. You seem to know what you're talking about. Badly's inquiring about Pontiac. Well, that's good. Yeah, we have to direct our consciousness here. The full moon in Pisces, intense, obviously, and it's going to be what you make it. It depends on how you come down and make your conversation known for yourself in that space. But if you really want to understand the nuances of that full moon, we will probably find clarity more so as we move into the next new moon. We find that full sort of cyclical sort of storyline with that. And if you really want to come down to it, come back a year down the line to the full moon, the next full moon in Pisces. If you rally, want to get down to it, 6 years. So yeah, to answer your question, the moon moves in 6 months, six months, and also 6-year cycles. It's cleared around.
It's 11 o'clock.
Or is it? What is time, really? All right. It's like, we want to look at 11 o'clock. Look really back at the last 11 o'clock. Look a year back, September 23rd, 11 o'clock a year ago. It's all how we see it. But yeah, but getting back to it, I wanted to see, let's clear around. The full moon. How do you know I'm a woman? Pontiac? I don't know why you're kind of pissing me off. All right, yeah, but you guys, this is the Pluto energy. I just get this vibe for aliases. I swear to fucking God. Like, at a certain point, I'm just thinking maybe I should just work for the FBI. Because I just have this thing. I just have this fucking thing where I just get into it. Like, and it's not even me. I'm not trying to like, but it's like, I feel like I got a magnet to your forehead, Pontiac. And what is going on? Love and light. Oh my God. Okay. But like, I'm just saying it. Like, and this is maybe a heads up for people who have a lot of Scorpio in your chart. Watch the fuck out. You may realize, holy shit, I don't trust this person. And you just come out with it. I don't know if I should hide or show that comment. What do you guys think? I'm just going to piece you out love and light. All right. Ciao. So, you know, you guys, this is a perfect example. Okay. This is a perfect example. Okay. Do not second guess your intuition as well. That's a huge point as well. That's a huge point as well. Those of a lot of Scorpio, this is when maybe this is redemption, you guys. Let's get fucking serious here now. Okay. This is when like You didn't know why you didn't trust that person, but you let it go, whatever, okay? You didn't know why exactly the pinpoint, like, you may not have had time for that. But now here comes the universe, like, no, we're going to point this shit out now. We're going to point it out. Square. And we're going to make you see how psychic you really are as well. That's clear. And I'm going to also come from that vantage point. Yeah, I just hid them. So, you know, and let's clear it down the left side of the body. You know, you may not know, like, why, like, what the issue is really. You may not know, like, is it really, like, should I bring it up? Maybe you do know what it is, but you were just like, I don't know if I really want to embarrass them, you know? I don't know. I'm just not sure. You know, that shit, the universe is going to be like, bro, it's for their good, too. You got to bring it up. I want to pull a poll. How many of you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart? Okay. Have you found that there are moments where you don't even really, like, your logical mind, this is really important. Let's clear the left side of the body. The logical mind. You don't want to, like, it's interesting. You don't want to, and this is the exact conversation of Libra and Scorpio. Is like, I don't want to make it awkward. Like, I kind of feel like something's weird, but, like, I don't want to be that weird Scorpio fuck. You know, I don't want to be the weirdo who, like, makes shit awkward. Like, hello, Felipa. Thank you for joining. Thank you. You just joined. Wow, very cool. Welcome. So, oh, but your repeat. Got it. So, for how many of you, okay, do you realize, like, sometimes it's like, wait a second, like, but, like, part of me feels like it's like a magnet. I don't know when it's like the Scorpio radar goes off. No, this person is, like, dishonest. Like, I'm serious. It's a Scorpio thing, though. I feel like it's a Scorpio thing. I don't think it's a Pisces thing, because listen, Pisces, they may know more than Scorpio. They don't say it. They don't really act on it. It's more the nebulous, like, I know. Okay, like, I know that you know that we know that. You might fucking kiss that person, you know, that you know that. But Scorpio is the magnetic thing of, like, I feel like I need to, like, transmute you. Hold on, bro. I know it's real strange, but, like, I'm gonna do it. It's that. You guys see? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or is it just, like, strange? Strange. It's cleared and ground. So for those of you a lot of Libra and Scorpio in your chart, naturally you might find that's it's like awkward for you as a so-called third person observing these two parts of you. But in the higher form, that might be a really sort of good diplomacy, like, or even maybe decoy energy, where you can come in and just, like, you can pry shit out of people. Libra, right? The sort of on the surface smiling. Pluto is like, yeah, kind of like, you know, those have a lot of Libra and Scorpio. But in the higher vibe, it's like, that's if you are channeling in the higher vibration, right? Of, like, I'm doing this intentionally with the purpose of helping, you know, some sort of broader, and this is a general video. Yeah, it's a general video. Broader, and you have to be balanced, mind, body, soul in that space. But anyways, let's clear around. But what I'm telling you, it's like, no, it's like something. I'm seeing it now. It's like something that reaches out of you almost. It's like a magnet. Like, it attract, and you know, even if you've got a lot of Scorpio at times, you may just you may find yourself in shady ass situations, shady ass people. People is like, what am I doing here? Like, you get attracted to situations unknowingly because you are as a transmuter energy. So, and people looking in on that space, they may question you, like, especially if they don't have a lot of Scorpio. They don't understand. Why are you still dealing with so-and-so? What's going on with that? Like, just drop it. Just what? Like, doesn't matter. Like, blah, blahs. And it's like, no, like, and that's where, yeah, it gets interesting because, you know, maybe with the Scorpio, it's like, well, I don't understand necessarily consciously what I'm doing here. It's more like you're riding that wave of, like, what you feel will be important online. It is a very psychic energy. So maybe it's like an unconscious shadowing. Let's clear it. Foreshadowing. I also want to talk about Sinister charts. Sinistry is so helpful for those of you who are finding that you're drawn to it, definitely look into it. But for those of you, especially if you're finding challenge with certain people at certain points in time, definitely look at your synastry. I would also look into your synastry before you get into a connection with someone. If you're also finding like you can't forget about somebody and it's like weird and like there's something that you cannot figure out, look at synastry as well. Look at synastry. It could be so helpful. If you're in one of those kinds of situations where you're like, I feel really like a lot, but I don't know what's going on and don't know why I can't forget this person, and sometimes it could be Neptune at play. I want to do a series where I talk about the Sinister Chart. Yes. Let's clear it and ground. Anybody familiar with Sinistry here in the room? Yeah, Christina. Like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, I'm going to say it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yep. It's like, because listen, either way, my magnet's going to suction to his third eye and it's going to be awkward as it is. So I might as well prepare him. Let's clear it and ground. I want to do a poll. How much Scorpio we got in the rooms? Well, if you're watching this channel, you're probably pretty Scorpionic, but to begin with, let's see. Sometimes you're even drawn to people. You're not really interested in them, but it's like there is a purpose there. It's like you're an agent. I really get the energy. Like a detective energy, but like for spirit, you know? Like you may find yourself in situations like, I don't know how to describe this, but it's clear and around. Hey, Pollyanna. I don't know. I don't have patience. Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, you're also getting choose your battles here with the Mercury square Mars. Rising first house. I'm going to do a poll real quickly. Rising first house, and how many of you read composite charts and do synastry? Let's clear it down the back. And how many of you are really into it? How many of you have a Venus in Scorpio? Let's add another option. How many of you are Sun in Scorpio? How many of you are Moon in Scorpio? And the poll is now. Have you guys found that a synastry was very helpful for you? Looking into it, I found it so fascinating. Definitely look at your synastry. You don't really want to be dealing with someone who brings Chiron anywhere really ultra sensitive, but you have to look at the whole chart together. Yeah. It's really like a grander orchestra, right? I'm looking at the poll now. Oh, interesting. We got a lot of rising sign Scorpios. Relatively more rising sign Scorpios than any other placement in the room right now. Yeah, it doesn't let me put more options, darn. So it only lets me put 4 at a time. My sister has a North Node Scorpio. It's interesting. Have you guys found that the North Node, for those of you who have a North Node Scorpio, do you find that you really feel that? Like, that you feel this? How do you feel it? I'm curious. Sherry, if you want to share. It's 11:11. Wow, right then, right? But yeah, 38% rising sign Scorpio. Yeah, some people may not know even if they're rising sign Scorpio, and they may be, so it may be even more than that. Some people may be getting it wrong, and it's maybe even less. We have to always leave room. Maybe it's a Western Vedic. Let's clear it. How many of you are you reporting based on, Vedic rising? Okay, Danger, got it. Okay, MIC says, yes, I have North Node. Scorpio, I'm still learning how I feel it. I really want to do synastry stuff. Like, really, really, really. Really, really, really. Whoa. I really, really want to do synastry stuff. Like, how many of you have found, yeah, wouldn't it be cool? You want to look at the South Node. If anyone's hitting too hard on your South Node, that's it's going to feel kind of like karmic. Well, yeah. But if you've got someone really hitting on your Chiron, it's going to, let's clear it. I'm so curious. How many of you, I really want to do like studies on this. I was at a certain point. I was doing this at a certain point, but how many of you are in a relationship that you've been in for like 5 to 10 years, at least, that is like heaven sent? And you're just like, I just feel it. I just feel that it's an amazing connection on the whole, and you really have no major complaints. What are the particular placements in your chart, your Sinister chart with that person? I would love to study this. Let's clear it. Those who feel, that someone's your twin flame as well. Let's clear it around. I'm going to end the poll. 34% rising. Wow, the majority is rising. Interesting. Maybe one time we can do like, I don't know. I really want to talk about this though. I want to do like a series, like if someone brings their South Node somewhere, if somebody brings their North Node. Something also interesting is Davidson versus composite chart. Are those of you familiar with that? I have found the midpoint reading as well to be interesting. But Davidson versus composite. Amy, you found composite to be very helpful. I would love to study this. Yeah, this is something I actually really love to do in general. Like my friends, family, if they're like interested in somebody, they'll usually just bring their zodiac chart. And it's like just so fascinating. You can just, stop, drop, roll with all the placements. Like that's what's going on. It's just interesting. So maybe sometime we'll do a series. I'm wondering how would be most helpful though. The thing is, like, there are really no absolutes, I feel, though, but still there are particular placements that you really want to be quite aware of. Like, if someone brings their Pluto to your Chiron, like, I don't know about that. Yeah, and especially, yeah, but you got, yeah. So, let's clear around. So anyways, you guys, I wanted to jump on and just chat about this a little bit. But keep, you know, grounded here. During these times, we've got, you know, this, let's see what we've got coming up. Let's clear the energy and ground. We've got some transits here. Just try not to get carried away in also other people's stories. We'll get more into the nuances of these transits on 48 hours and on hourly real time. Let's clear it around. But just in a general sense, you know, just this is an intense time. Try not to, if you're really empathic, have ways of grounding, clearing your aura. 28th is when we find the 28th is when we find the second quarter stage. So the energies of the full moon in Pisces really clearing, cascading out at the 28th. 6 degrees of Cancer is going to be intense. 9:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk more about this in weekly as well, members readings, where we talk weekly. Again, thank you guys for joining, members. Thank you for your support. Thank you guys who do join, members. I really appreciate it. And it's really lovely to have that space where we can kind of get further into astrology and it's more intimate. And even though we do still have trolls there. Yeah, believe it or not. People pay to be really weird. But hey, take it as you will. We got all kinds of stories. And the important thing is that you remain grounded. So, you know, it may be as well that during these times things come up. You see people's true colors. Let it be. Let it happen. And move along your way. So thank you guys for tuning into you. We'll get further into astrology again tonight, most likely on 48 hours. We'll do a reading for each of the signs there. And we'll also get into, let's clear it. We may proceed with the Mercury retrograde readings as well. And I do have some private services as well that I need to close up. If you're waiting on a private service, thank you for your patience. If you are, yes, and if you're interested in a private service, we are a little bit delayed here with that, just a heads up. And I don't know for how much longer I'll be offering the private services. I think I'm phasing more into doing, I really want to do public, everything public. Yeah, but I also enjoy private, but it's very overwhelming at times. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be keeping this open. I'm going to add October as a personal month service. But again, you need to think about it. Yeah, because I want to finish the Mercury retrogrades for the general channel. And then I also want to finish the 48-hour series for members. And it's a lot. And it's a lot, but it's fun. I'm going to put the link here. It's for the personal services if you feel guided. I don't know if they're back, if they're still in stock. Some of them may be sold out. But yeah, just as a heads up. And whatever's meant to be, will be. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love and light to you. We'll see you in the next videos. See you guys later. See you. Bye, guys.